So a very huge development indeed has happened in regards to PlayStation, the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation Portal, and most importantly, for the main reason that you're here, cloud gaming. Yes, you guessed it. PlayStation Portal has now been enabled to play cloud gaming. This is a huge development, and one that brings a catalog of games that get critical acclaim across the board for years in the hands of cloud gamers through the PlayStation Portal. I have a lot to say about this, not just about what effect this has on PlayStation, but I think this is more important to the greater cloud community. Dare I say it, anything else that's happened in 2024. Let's talk about it. PlayStation Portal, and cloud gaming. This is Cloud Dosage. Let's talk about it. What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of Cloud Dosage, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and MM2K Gaming. Back again with another episode of CDO Daily. This is where I talk about the latest and greatest in cloud gaming news. And boy, oh boy, do we have a great one for you today. Before we get into that one, and before we get into this video, just use favorite, that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications. All right. So I know I've been on hiatus for a while. I've been talking a lot of mainstream gaming. Shout out to the people over at CloudDosage.com. They've been doing all the heavy lifting. Fantastic website. If you haven't been there, you got to go there for your cloud gaming news. There's just no better place. Nothing against anybody else, but there's no better place, no better coverage of cloud gaming happening than on CloudDosage.com. That said, at Cloud Dosage, we cover a variety of cloud gaming platforms. We try to show you the best and the worst of all worlds. And we try to do it from a very objective point of view. Now, every now and again, we'll put in our 2 cents, our personal 2 cents about something. And that's something I will do here. I'm going to talk about the overall story, what's going on. We got a great article written up on CloudDosage.com that we're going to review. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my 2 cents on how big of a thing I feel like this is. All right, as I alluded to in the bump. All right, but first, let's start with the actual story over there on CloudDosage.com. Again, your best place to get your video game news for cloud. All right, so this article reads, PlayStation Portal introduces cloud streaming beta for PlayStation 5 games. The article continues. Sony is taking their next cloud gaming step with a new system update for the PlayStation Portal, introducing cloud streaming beta for select PlayStation 5 titles. This new feature available exclusively to the PlayStation Plus premium members marks a significant expansion into PlayStation's cloud gaming offerings. The update rolling out starting today includes exciting features for those who own the PlayStation Portal and are eager to experience cloud streaming without a PS5 console. Premium members will be able to stream a selection of over 120 PlayStation 5 games from the PlayStation Plus catalog directly on the PlayStation Portal, such as Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Monster Hunter Rise. Key features of cloud streaming beta: streaming quality. The games will stream up to 1080 60 frames per second, offering high quality visuals in the PlayStation Portal. DualSense wireless controller features. Enjoy emulated features like haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and motion sensor, enhancing the streaming experience. And then lastly, the PlayStation Cloud storage, PlayStation Plus cloud storage. Save game data up to 100 gigabytes with automatic syncing across devices, making it easy to switch between local and cloud play. Now, once your PlayStation Portal is updated, simply toggle the cloud streaming beta option in the settings to enable the new feature. And while the cloud streaming beta brings exciting new possibilities, there are some restrictions, notably PlayStation 4 and PlayStation. Well, I think what the article should say is that PlayStation 3 games are not supported. On the main site, they do talk about PlayStation 4 games are supported. And features like the game trials, 3D audio, and in-game purchases are not available during the beta phase. Additionally, party voice chat in-game invites will be limited to certain titles. Right? And as always, make sure that you hit the team up on Threads, on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever Cloud Dosage is at. All right. So, what are my thoughts on all this? Okay, first and foremost, let's just talk about the quality of cloud streaming through PlayStation. Quality is fantastic. It's great. It's like, if I had to rank my top 3 as far as performance, number 1 would be NVIDIA GeForce Now Ultimate. And then it's kind of tough. I'm going to give a slight edge to PlayStation cloud streaming over Boosteroid. Boosteroid, now that they've upgraded to their 4K server blades, it's a great performing service too. I will say that PlayStation's cloud service, for me, even when I have it wired, like there's hitches now and then, like frame skips, where even with those frame skips, the reason why I give it a slight edge over Boosteroid right now is because in my experience, Boosteroid, the latency is a little bit off, more so than PlayStation Portal and GeForce Now. And when you're playing high pace, high action games, I really feel like that the latency things that I experience with Boosteroid has a more, causes slightly more, again, not a lot, still a great service, but slightly more degradation to my gameplay experience than the frame skips that I experience in PlayStation PlayStation 5 cloud gaming, as they're calling it. So that's why I give a slight edge, but those are the top 3. Those are the top 3 performance levels. They're not being touched by any of the, I don't know if this is an oxymoron, but mainstream cloud services. You know what I mean? They're not being touched. All right. So, but the con of the PlayStation 5 service is that it was regulated to simply the console. So that for us cloud gamers, that kind of defeats the purpose, right? That you had to have a PlayStation in order to do the cloud gaming service. Well, those few months that happened, and I remember something else too happening where the PlayStation Portal came out and it didn't have cloud gaming enacted, and I was kind of upset. I went to Twitter and I said some things about it, and I think it was Vivi, shout out to Vivi, well-known figure in the cloud gaming community. He commented, I believe, and said, yo, remember, it's coming. And that was just, a few months ago. But the impatient gamer that I am, with the high expectancies that I have, I wanted it then and now. Okay, so that time, blew by, and we're here where we're at today. PlayStation Portal has sold well. It did great. A lot of people have it. A lot of people enjoy it. And now cloud gaming has been enacted. At the time of this recording, I had to, just so you guys are aware, we got a big winter storm coming. All right, I'll be quick with this. We got a huge winter storm coming where I'm at. So I had to get some work done on the car. When this news hit, I called my daughter and I said, you got to bring dad home. Like, I can't send it to this dealer. You got to bring me home, just chill out down in the living room for an hour or so. Let dad rip on the microphone. You can take me back to the dealer, right? Why? Because I wanted to talk about this. Why did I want to talk about this? Because the reactions that I saw on the internet were astounding. Like, people are playing this thing, and they're impressed. And these are mainstream people that have nothing but negative things to say about cloud gaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to one of my favorite content creators out there, Reforged Gaming. I love his content. Sometimes though, I think he's off the mark a little bit about cloud gaming. I think he's trying to fill in the gaps due to lack of experience with guesstimates and guesstimations of what can do what, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes he doesn't give cloud gaming his just due. But even he, with his apprehensions, he's playing it. He's like, this is great. This is fantastic. And even in response to Reforge, a fellow friend of both of ours, mine and Reforge, and a friend of this platform as well, Doc Dart. He's been very critical of PlayStation for, some of what a lot of us here in the cloud community consider unfriendly consumer practices, right? Even he's like, okay, I might have to get a portal because, he's a big cloud gamer. That's someone that rarely has anything positive to say about PlayStation. But the biggest one for me, the one that really brought me home, forced me to call my daughter. He doesn't even know this yet. He's gonna find out when he hears this video. Is my partner in crime, my homie over at MM2K Gaming, where we cover mainstream gaming news and debates and rants and stuff like that. My homie Cold Blood Sensei, right? My PNC, my partner in crime. Ain't nobody obliterate cloud gaming the way that he is. I mean, it's so bad. We had people that try to remove his access to be able to chat on his channel. You know what I'm saying? That's how much he's loved over here in the cloud space. He's playing this. He's hit me up. He's like, Moss, this is phenomenal. He's like, now the portal has become the most important accessory probably ever for PlayStation. It's like, I'm not tethered to the console anymore. And so all the criticism and the mini rage that I had, you guys know I can go from 0 to 10 real quick, about PlayStation tethering all of this to the console, it's starting to evaporate. I mean, I already know that the PlayStation Portal, not the PlayStation Portal, I already know that the PlayStation cloud service is phenomenal. Like I said, it's top 2. Just was, tethered to the console. But now that it's not necessarily tethered to the console anymore, all you gotta do is get a $199 device. And I don't want to hear, oh man, you got to get a device for you guys are getting Asus ROGs and getting these G Logitech things, which are great devices too. I think they're even a little bit more expensive if my memory serves me right. You guys are getting those to play cloud gaming, right? $199 device, 179 used if you go to GameStop. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. And here's why I'm starting to rethink my whole thought process around this, because I always felt like that the best thing for cloud gaming was for cloud gaming to just be untethered to hardware. I always thought that way. But now that I sit there and I think about it, and hear me out all the way, it may not be the best for cloud gaming that it's so much unassociated from hardware now. It's the best thing for me. It's the best thing for you, because we're forward thinkers. We understand the benefits of not being tethered to hardware at all. So we're all accepting of it. But here's the problem. Mainstream gamers, the people that we need to adopt this, they don't feel that way. And I hate to say this, with the closure of Stadia and the unfortunate capping at 100 hours that GeForce Now is doing with its playthrough, even for people that are paying for it. Those are black eyes to cloud gaming and the trust that they garner with the mainstream. Now, again, hear me out. You may be listening to this on the other end and you're like, phooey, bullpucky. It's not that big of a deal. So what? GeForce Now said it's only 6% of its use. None of that matters, because why? What do I always tell you guys? Perception is 9/10 of the law. We got to start dealing in reality instead of emotions. The reality is, mainstream gamers are skeptical. When Stadia closed down, that put people into panic that thought, okay, man, I was starting to kind of loosen up to this thing. I heard that a lot. I was starting to loosen up to this thing. I thought it was going to stick around. I liked how they socked it to the killed by Google, shout out to Shaka. We liked how your PR person socked it to the killed by Google representative, only for the Google killed by Google person to be true. We were starting to warm up to this thing, and now it's gone. And now a question that we have is, what's going to happen to your cloud games if somebody else leaves? Like, we're glad Google gave people their money back, but everybody ain't going to do that. We don't trust this thing. So they took, the few steps that they were starting to take forward, people took several steps back. Now, what made the rounds, I'm telling you, because I cover mainstream gaming news every day, all of the crazy, positive, and fantastic stuff that GeForce Now Ultimate does, it may seep through every now and again. What made the rounds and was the talk of the town and videos like from King Thrash to everybody talked about it. The aforementioned Reforged Gaming, everybody was talking about it. GeForce Now capping gameplay at 100 hours. Now again, I could do what I tried to do again with Stadia and talk against the herd. You see what that did? Sometimes you got to just deal in perception, and you got to work with the cards that you've been dealt. So even though we are forward thinkers and we're like, we know the best scenario with this to be standalone, not really tethered to home hardware, I think until that trust is there, PlayStation has taken a very smart approach to how they're handling and rolling out their cloud service. And again, this is not me saying all of the standalone services now got to tether themselves to hardware. No, keep doing what you're doing. But because PlayStation is a trusted brand, the hardware is trusted, a trusted device, and the cloud service was available through trusted means, people tried it. They said, okay, this is comfortable, this is cool, for those that tried it. And then they didn't try to sell it too much. They just put it out there. That's what Sony does. They put stuff out there for you to put your hands on, for you to try it, for them to learn, to get to, the error reports or whatever. And then once they've tweaked it to a very good, output status, then they roll it out. And everybody's not doing that. There's one brand in particular, I ain't gonna name any names, one brand in particular that would be better served if they did that. Instead of just trying to throw everything out there at once and not nailing well enough any of it as far as mainstream consumption is concerned. So now that they've rolled it out and people are trying it, and all the skeptics of cloud gaming that I know in the mainstream, the biggest pot of gamers out there, are loving this thing, this might single-handedly do more for cloud gaming than any other initiative in 2024. Going forward for the next few years. If people buy portals, again, I understand it's tethered to devices, hardware in the console, and now the portal. If they go buy the portal and they do cloud gaming and it's perfect for them, right? That's what we're hearing now, and games are rolled out. That lowers the wall in the apprehension of a lot of the FUD and misinformation that we hear about cloud gaming. Cloud gaming just isn't possible. The infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. Where people don't realize that, with a lot of these cloud gaming techniques that are out here, you can actually, all you need to do cloud gaming is enough internet usage to play a game of Fortnite. And we don't say Fortnite is doomed because everybody doesn't have excellent infrastructure. No. So if the bandwidth to play a game of Fortnite, that's all I need to do some great cloud gaming, and PlayStation takes advantage of that, then there you go to breaking down the wall more so than probably anybody has to date. I'm already hearing it. So let's just hope that it continues, that people continue to trust cloud gaming, that these walls continue to fall down. And then as an end result, these standalone services, now they'll start getting some shine. Well, this PlayStation Portal is great. I was hearing about that GeForce Now Ultimate. Okay, let me give it a try. Oh, I was hearing about Amazon Luna. Let me give it a try. I did hear about this Boosteroid. Let me give it a try. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that this is great for cloud gaming and the biggest injection. And I would have, if you would have asked me this 2 or 3 years ago, I would have told you fly kite to a thunderstorm. There's no way that PlayStation of all people would be leading the charge in receptance from the mainstream in cloud gaming. I would have never, but it you know, again, it's too early to say definitively, but I just want to let you know, as someone that covers mainstream gaming, I know we have our own little safe bubble and hub here from a lot of the pointed discussions that go through in mainstream gaming. But again, those are the people that we need to adopt this in order for this to be successful. Because expecting non-gamers to stop what they're doing and all of a sudden become gamers, I don't care how accessible this stuff is, it's not happening. What's going to happen is when the people that are gaming, that are open to gaming, that want to game, that have barriers to them gaming, that do want to game, we got to make this more accessible for them. There's a lot of people like that out there. And if we give them more ways to game with quality games and quality output, as we're seeing with, you know, PlayStation Portal, Boosteroid, GeForce Now, and others, future's only gonna get bright. This is the injection that cloud gaming needed. And I'm glad to see it. And I'm glad to see, like, there's nothing, I'm telling you, this is amazing. This is why I had to get on the mic. I have not seen dejectors in the skeptics doing about face as quick as I'm seeing them do it now. But those are just my thoughts. What are your thoughts on all this? Have you tried the PlayStation Portal cloud gaming? What do you think about it? Where does it rank in your book? And do you think that the people embracing PlayStation and then tearing down that walls of trust, you think that will happen through this new Portal integration? Let me know. With that said, I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. I know content for me has been light on this channel, or content in general has been light. I'm still trying and working out different things, and then we got members content coming too. I do want to talk about the aforementioned GeForce Now and the 100-hour caps on gaming. Do a deep dive on that. We'll talk about that with members. With that said, I appreciate everybody. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.